Hey guys, it's JR from the To Watch pile, back again. Haven't made a video for a while, just Christmas tends to be a little bit mental, so didn't end up getting around to doing anything, but that doesn't mean that I don't have anything cool for you to have a look at the moment. Now, I've been collecting movies and records and stuff like that for ages, and comics and statues and stuff. I also really like action figures, and I guess to some extent dolls as well, like the Living Dead dolls you might see behind me, and I don't mind some of the Funko Pops as well. Always collected, way back from when I was a kid. I had the Migos and Micronauts and Star Wars figures and all that sort of stuff. About 91 or 92 I happened across this thing. This is from Mattel. It's called Maxx Effects. Now, it was devised in about 1988 or 89 for I think a 90 or a 91 release. The plan was to have a doll for boys like Barbie, where it was a guy who got dressed up in the various characters that he could do. So he came with the Freddy Kruger one. There are other options which you can see on the back here of the alien from Aliens. There's a Dracula and a Monster of Frankenstein as well. Now, you might notice that the head on the back's a little bit different to the head on the front. Unfortunately, it's a little bit dusty, just because it's been on a shelf for a while. But basically what happened was that Mattel was so excited about the idea of this coming out that they decided to do another Fred Krueger toy, which is one where you pulled a little thing on his back and he'd say things. And this was more of a soft doll that you took to bed with you. Now, whereas Maxx Effects shows you that Freddy Krueger's not real and he's a special effect and it's actually a man, in this case Maxx Effect, who gets dressed up as Maxx Effects, who gets dressed up as the character. The other one was just a toy of Freddy Krueger. There was a huge backlash against Mattel, and the two toys weren't sort of given any sort of separation, so both of them were banned. A few of these managed to sneak out. I've managed in my life to procure two of them. This one, which is still in its unfortunately super tatty packaging, and another one which with no packaging at all. It's a pretty cool toy. It's a shame the other stuff didn't come out because it's amazing, but unfortunately parental backlash, as you know, from like video nasties and stuff like that, people who don't get our horror stuff that we like to get, they just don't realise that we understand sometimes that it actually is not real. The concept of having a stuffed toy for kids that you cuddled up at night of Freddy Krueger was a bit weird, but that was just it. Anyway, so that's the tragic story of Maxx Effects in a nutshell. There is a couple of good websites that tell you the full story and have some pre-sculpts of some of the amazing other costumes that were going to happen that didn't. I suggest you look those up because they're pretty awesome. But this guy's just one of the many dolls or action figures that I collect. Another company that I really like is Sideshow, and by extension Hot Toys. Now, in my Sideshow collection, I've got a whole pile of Monty Python the Holy Grail. I've got Nosferatu. I've got a couple of Frankenstein ones. I've got some James Bond ones, including an awesome Telly Savalas Blofeld from On Her Majesty's Secret Service, I think. But this one is one that I'm really, really stoked for getting. So this is a 1/6 scale Ash Williams, and I'm going to whip this open for you today so we can have a look at just how cool he is. So let's rip this thing open. Now, I think he was actually on display in the shop that I got him from, so he probably won't have any of the twisty ties in him, so it'll probably be a lot easier. I do like Sideshow stuff, but if I had a preference, I'd get Hot Toys. Sideshows have been around since about 94, and while their toys and their packaging is really cool, I mean, that's a pretty cool picture of Evil Dead 2 Ash on the back, Hot Toys tend to give you more stuff with it. They just have the characters will have more guns and more bits and pieces, and sometimes heaps of alternate hands and alternate faces. This has some of that stuff in it, but not like a Hot Toys one. There was a Hot Toys Jyn Erso that was recently released, and it's basically got everything that she wears in Rogue One, Star Wars Rogue One, except for the Death Trooper costume. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's crack this open and have a little bit of a look at it. So in the packaging, you've got the base with a couple of hands, and there's a pretty cool little Necronomicon in there as well, which I'll swap one of his hands out so he can hold that, because the hand he comes standard with is his shotgun hand. With the figure itself, he's got a cool little leather backpack that the gun will fit down in. The chainsaw's really awesome and attached to his hand, and also it even has the little hook on his chest so that you can hook the ripcord on the chainsaw up to, which is pretty amazing. It's pretty good likeness of Bruce Campbell. It's nice and slashed up, and there's also a really awesome head of one of the demons from Evil Dead 2. Like, I would have only ever gotten the Evil Dead 2 one because I love Evil Dead, but the makeup was a bit naff, and I'm not a fan of Armies of Darkness. So Evil 2 Ash is certainly my Ash of choice. So yeah, it's a pretty cool figure. So there he is, fully out of his box. He looks pretty amazing. The little Necronomicon book's nicely done. Particularly like the blood effects, and he's got some cool scratches and bits and pieces on his face, and the head of the demon's fantastic. The clothing, as always with these figures, is awesome. Even down to little things like there's some scuffing and detail on his shoes that a lesser toy company may not put there. But if you have a good look at his face, he's certainly very driven and ready to fight against evil. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked to have gotten that one. But anyway, thank you for watching this opening of the Evil Dead 2 Ash action figure. I'll be getting another one similar to these quite soon, and I'll actually go through with you the difference between Sideshow and Hot Toys. So when I get that one, we'll actually do an opening video of that, and you can check out just how, like, the difference, and I'll drag him back out so you can see it. Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget, if you want to look at my reviews, go to www.towatchpile.com. If you could, I'd really appreciate you giving me a like on this, and please subscribe. I'm going to try and get more and more videos done. If you see anything behind me, or if you want to know anything else about my collection, want to know if there's anything that I do or don't collect, please leave a message beneath and I'll get back to you, and maybe it'll even spur me on for an idea for another video. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.